Start out by just offering condolences to the families of the victims on behalf of our city manager and our mayor and the Talladega Police Department. We mourn your loss with you. On March 19, 2023 at approximately 3 a.m., Talladega Police Department responded to Talladega Downs apartments located at 500 Sloan Avenue West in reference to shots fired. Upon the officers' arrival, officers observed a large gathering in the parking lot and located injured victims that had received multiple gunshot wounds. And immediately the officers, along with members of the public, rendered first aid until medics arrived. The following gunshot victims, all of Talladega, were identified as Montreal Johnson, age 23, DeJounte Dickerson, age 23, and Adrian Swain, age 23. All three victims were initially transported to Citizens Hospital in Talladega. Montreal Jordan succumbed to his injuries shortly after arriving at the hospital. The other two victims were life-flighted to UAB Hospital, and later we got word that DeJounte Dickerson died from his injuries that morning. Adrian Swain is currently in the hospital and is listed in critical condition. Jacksonville Crime Scene Unit, along with Talladega Police Department, processed the scene, and while the investigative unit worked on gathering information from victims and information from witnesses. After talking to witnesses and reviewing video footage, detectives were able to identify a suspect in the shooting, and within 12 hours, Talladega Police Department investigators, the drug task force, and the deputies were able to take into custody 23-year-old Dennis Andre Swain of Alpine, Alabama. Swain was arrested and is currently being held in the county jail on a $500,000 bond. I would like to thank the Talladega Police Department, the investigative division, and agencies that assisted in their swift response to getting some answers and bringing a person into custody. This investigation is still active and ongoing with hopes of future arrest. If anyone has any information that will aid in this investigation, we ask that you call the Talladega Police Investigative Division at 256-362-4508, Crime Stoppers at 334-215-STOP, or our anonymous tip line, 256-299-0011. And I want to kind of end this by thanking the public for their assistance in helping us to identify. We know that it takes all of us working together to get the bad guys off the streets, and our hats go out to those people that were involved.
Chief Thomas, do you know if there's any relation between Adrian and Dennis?
I don't know the exact relations, but I do know that all of the persons involved are familiar with each other. They do know each other.
How many people were at the complex when the incident happened?
Well, we got several different numbers, anywhere from 50 to 100.
What do police believe in their investigation right now led up to the shooting?
Repeat your question.
With the investigation so far, what are investigators or the police saying they believe led up to the shooting?
We don't. I know there was a fight involved, but as far as detailed and definite what happened, we're not exactly sure. We were just told that there was a fight involved.
Also, the coroner's report, I believe, told us that one of the victims was 22 and the other one was 23. Can you clarify the ages of both of them? Because I think you might have said they were both 23. I just wanted to make sure we had that correct.
Montreal Jordan, 22, and Dickerson, 23.
Thank you.
And do you all get a lot of calls for that apartment complex in that area Did you see this a lot?
Typically, not any more than we do anywhere else in the city.
Crime overall in the city, specifically focusing on gun violence, is this a trend that we're seeing go upward?
Well, unfortunately, crime across the nation with gun violence is up everywhere. But I'll say that we've worked really hard to reduce some of the gun violence, and I do see a decline in the gun violence here in the city.
Do you all have plans to patrol that area a little more? I was over there earlier and I noticed it was a kind of heavy police presence.
Yeah, we do in areas especially of noted crime or crime that just occurred. We do try to beef up our patrol in those areas.
Is this a licensed firearm? Was this a licensed firearm?
I'm not able to answer that at this time.
What are some of the difficulties of, I guess, policing a large crowd when something like this has occurred?
Manpower. It's hard because you shift because of the shortage of officers, and it's just, if you have 5 officers working a shift, it's difficult. So we have to reach out to our sister agencies to get some help. So it's just controlling the crowd.
And how many different agencies responded to this?
As far as I know, the county, Talladega County Sheriff's Department.
Does the suspect have any known history with law enforcement, to your knowledge?
We're unable to answer that at this time.
Do you know what charges Dennis Swain's going to be facing at this time?
He's charged with murder.
You said something about future arrests. Do you have reason to believe that there was more than one shooter?
Well, at this time, the investigation is ongoing, and we're trying to weigh every option out there before we say that this is the only person that's involved in the shooting.
How many shots would you say were fired altogether?
Unknown.
More than 10?
Could be, I would say probably more than 10, yes.
My last question for you, can you just emphasize how important it is for the community to come together with information when something like this happens? Obviously, there's a lot of people involved, and I know from my experience, and I'm sure you do too, that a lot of times when things like this happen, people are fearful to come forward. So can you kind of explain on how that really helped the investigation?
Well, without the public, we can't, the police, we can't see everything. We can't be at all places at all times. So it's important because any person that's a victim would want the public to help them. So it's important that we all work together. As I said, the police can't do it without the public. And also, it's important that if you have any video, the complex shared their video footage with us. That was very helpful. So we all have to work together to solve these cases.
Thank you for your time and for what you do.
Thank you all for coming. Thank you.